What is up, YouTube? Excellent Samurai D here. Finally here with the vlog I've been saying that I'm going to post, and I never get around to it. That is because when I have the gumption, I don't have the words. And when I do have the words, I don't have the gumption, because it's not something easy for me to talk about, mostly on account of I'm really bad at things like public speaking, and whereas you all that watch may not be in front of me, it's still the thought of, my goodness, that's terrible. It's still the thought of, there's still somebody there, and maybe at some point a lot of people there on the other end, just watching, and it's mildly unnerving for me. But that's aside the point. I'm going to take this time that I've got right now to do this vlog because I have to. And I'm saying this now, there's a fairly good chance that I am going to cry, and at which point I will be cutting that out, because I'm an ugly crier, and nobody needs to see all that. That slipped. Boy. I mean, like, I'm just straight up ugly crier, like, it's terrible. So, I'm going to edit that stuff out. Aside from that, I'm going to try to keep this as uncut as possible. And, well, this is my explanation for where I've been and why I have not been really posting anything. And it's not like an excuse of, oh, parenting is too hard. It's not hard. A little stressful at times, but it's absolutely not the issue at hand. And this is, well, stalling. This is very much so stalling, because it's a really hard subject for me. Okay. To start off, I guess I would say the beginning of this point would be about early November 2014, after I got out of my culinary training program. I felt that the way I've been feeling since I was as young as I can remember, because there are some things that I try to keep out of memory, because that's for a whole nother thing, maybe in the future. And I've just been I had just been watching people, and none of what they were doing was how they were feeling. It wasn't how I was feeling. I was thinking to myself, wow, there must be something fairly wrong, because this just shouldn't be like this. So I went, talked with someone, and as of November of 2014, I was diagnosed with severe clinical depression that is more than likely stemming from a lot of stuff that happened in my childhood, which again, maybe for video in the distant future. This video alone is hard enough for me to record, so maybe. Following through that, bunch of shit happened between the times of 2014 and then last year. And last year was the breaking point of which I just could no longer tolerate things. And I had a bit of a breakdown in mental state. Mother's Day 2017, possibly my closest family member died. My grandmother. My grandmother was like, well, a good portion of you know, like how the super awesome, super nice grandmothers, you know how the super nice grandmother thing goes. Pardon. But for me, she was one of the people that believed in me the absolute most, and that's what really mattered. Like, my aunts and uncle, they were the sort of family members that were constantly putting me down. And my father, when he was alive, he was the sort that was constantly putting me down, saying I can't do this, I can't do that. And the way that I was living with all of this, it really got to me, and I just wasn't doing things that I wanted to do. And then there's my grandmother. She was always, yeah, do that. You can do that. I want you to do that because I know you want to do that. And she supported me so much with just almost anything I wanted to do. Like, when I found out that people, like regular people, could just make video games, I said, I want to make a video game. I'm going to make a video game. First two people to chime in was my father and my uncle. Like, no, you can't do that. It's too hard. You can't do that. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're saying. You can't put the time in for that. Because they tried, and they couldn't do it. So, because they couldn't do it, I wasn't allowed to do it. And my grandmother heard them saying that you can't do that, and boxed them both in the head and said, you can do that. If you want to make a video game, you can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. And, well, I'm still working on that. So, that's something way off to the side I'm working on. And then came the whole start of YouTube. Well, not the whole start of YouTube, because I wasn't allowed to do anything with computers on my own, and for most of my youth, got my own first personal computer towards the end of high school, but that's again beside the point. There was the realization that when I was watching YouTubers like PewDiePie and the Good Mythical Morning, the Rhett and Link, and the Vlog Brothers, Hank and John Green, I'm like, I want to do that. That looks like so much fun. And I wasn't even realizing that they were making money off of this. One of the first YouTubers that I actively subscribed to was the Vlog Brothers. I wasn't even realizing that they were making money off of that. So I had no fucking clue. I just thought, hey, this is cool. I want to do that. That's so much fun. And, there's a good hard bit of time where I was looking for jobs, and everywhere I looked just wasn't hiring. So I never had the money for, super, super expensive equipment. I mean, my first laptop itself, that was somewhat decent enough to play pseudo high graphic games. It was given to me for free, and that it wasn't very good. Some of my first videos on YouTube, my Minecraft videos, they were recorded on that laptop. And, well, if you go back and watch them, you'll see. Yeah. Fun stuff. Throwback to my old videos. Yeah. Either way. Yeah, and then hard getting a hold of money and all that fun stuff. I never had my own cell phone until I was 21, which I bought with my own money, and at that it wasn't good, so I couldn't really record with it. And then I had enough money to try to get something better. And then my fiance's mom wound up buying me a newer laptop in which I started making more videos with. That's the one that I had before the one that I've got now. And I was making videos with that, and it was great. the webcam wasn't so great, but then webcams, unless you buy like some branded USB stick into thing, they're usually not great if they're integrated cameras. But I was doing it, I was having fun, I was really, yeah, this is so much fun. And I told her that my grandmother that I was doing these videos, and she was like, yeah, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. Just keep going. 'Cause it's what you want to do. And it meant so much to me for hearing her say, I knew you could do it. And she was just always there. And that getting later on, I wasn't able to see her as much as I would have liked to. And then she started going in and out of the hospitals. She was getting older. And then last year, it just started getting worse. Well, near the end of 2016, it started getting worse and worse. And then she was just near constantly in the hospitals until it got to the point where she just could not get out of like rehabilitation center, like physical rehabilitation, not like drugs. But she couldn't get out of the rehab centers or hospitals. And then her kidneys just couldn't hold on anymore. And the doctors said that they just couldn't, and it wouldn't be feasible to give her new kidneys, or at least a kidney, because they felt that other people were a better priority or higher priority over her. And every time I visited her, me and my fiance and her daughter, visiting her in the hospitals, she just got worse and worse. And I was watching just the mental state of watching her own mental state just slowly deteriorate to the point where she was having hallucinations, and she just started spouting nonsense. At one point, I was just standing there next to her bed, and she wasn't even recognizing people for the most part, and she was just sitting there repeating numbers, just numbers over again, and it was just the worst, like one of the most important family members in my life, and I was watching her as her brain was just melting into a mush, and then through one of her coherent states, we started talking how she wanted to get out of the hospital. She wanted to get better, to get out of the hospital, and she wanted to go have a picnic because she liked having picnics. And she wanted to sit down at a park near her old house, and we were gonna have root beer floats because root beer floats were her favorite. And then I remember the last time I saw her, she said, "I'm gonna be out soon, and we can go have our root beer floats." Well, needless to say, we didn't get to have our root beer floats in the park. But yeah, that last bit of waking up Mother's Day and getting the call saying that she died at, like, I've got all this fucking footage, like, for megabytes, all recorded, and I just dropped everything. I just couldn't anymore. It was, everything stopped being fun. And it's still kind of at the point where, like, I'm not even enjoying video games. I'm still having a little bit of a hard time that things just aren't fun. And I'm trying. I've got that nagging voice of the depression in the back. Anyone with depression knows that nagging voice in the back of your mind. You're not good enough. Stop it. You've already failed. You can't pick it up. You can't go back to it. Don't try. You're failing. Don't try. You're not good at it. Don't do that. You're nothing. Stop. You can't do it. You're not doing it. You can't do it right. You can't do anything right. And that voice, it's not as bad as it was, but it's there, and I'm trying. I'm gonna try as hard as I can, because I know the YouTube community has already lost enough people to depression, suicide from depression, and I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm not opting out. I'm not going to opt out. I'm trying to push through this because I don't want to opt out. I'm trying for you, trying for my fiance, I'm trying for my daughter, and I'm trying for me. Because I don't want to opt out. And at the end, I'm trying for my grandmother because she believed that I could do this. So I'm gonna do it. That's where I've been. That is why I've not really been uploading anything. I'm not really been active on like my Twitter. I'm still fighting with Facebook to get back my original Facebook account so I can take back my Facebook page for my YouTube channel, and I'm getting no response from them. So if any of you could help, please help if you can. And I thank you so much if you do try to help, because I'd really like to have control over my page again. Like, my page, I set it up. It's for me and for you. It's for me and you. Like, you can either get, so you'll be able to either get my video notifications from like YouTube or Twitter or my Facebook page, but I don't have control over my Facebook page because Facebook, you know how it goes. But I'm trying to get all this done. I'm trying. And if you ever, like, if I ever, like, just sort of disappear and you're, like, wondering, go ahead, tweet me. If I don't tweet back within at least 24 hours, maybe something's wrong, or maybe my phone's just dead. But otherwise, I will tweet back within at least 24 hours. Or if a bunch of people are tweeting, I'll make one big post, like one universal tweet. Yeah. If you ever think, oh, what if something happened to, yeah, just Twitter. Fastest way to get a hold of me. Absolute fastest. And if anyone close to you starts telling you, you can't do that, you can't do that, don't do that, you don't have time for that, don't do it, don't listen to them. You can do it. You can do it. I mean, unless somebody's telling you don't kill somebody, you don't kill somebody. Don't do that. Please do not do that. Or don't opt out. Those are the two major things. Don't kill somebody and don't opt out. I can't officially say whether or not it will or won't get better if you're having a problem, but opting out shouldn't be an option. It isn't. It isn't an option. You can do it. I believe you can do it. I believe you can do it just like my grandmother believed I can do it. This video has gone on for way longer than I thought it would. So I'm gonna end it here. I've said pretty much all I could think of. So thank you all very much for watching. I thank you all so very much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe. Don't forget to ding that bell so you'll get a notification every time I upload, which hopefully it'll be more. And I'll see you all next time.